What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid-fade on my boy, so stay tuned. We started by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, making sure everything is nice and neat. We then started off with our no guard all the way open, and we created our second guideline first instead of making our first guideline with our trimmers. This is gonna help us keep the fade a little bit lower and contour it to his head shape. Now that we're done creating our second guideline, we can move on to our Goat FX and create our first guideline. Now that we're done creating our bald line and balding him out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and then slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Don't be afraid to move the ear with your opposite hand and also stretch the skin to give you more room to blend. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. As you guys can see, now that I'm done softening up the line with the one guard and its lever, I can move on to the half guard, and I'm also going to use the corners and the lever to erase it completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your half guard, so switching over to your no guard all the way open using those corners will definitely help. Now that we're done with the lower guards, we can move on to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. I'm also flicking out as much as possible, and I'm staying away from the parietal ridge. I'm not going too high. With this same guard, I'm then going to use the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard and its lever, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and try to erase it completely. Again, sometimes after using your 1.5 guard, there's still a faint line, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using those corners will definitely help. Now we're moving on to our 3 guard all the way open, and this is going to help us create our silhouette and finish off the top. The hair was a little bit oversaturated, so I took out my blow dryer and dried it out a little bit. Now that the hair is a little bit drier and laid down, we can move on to our 3 guard all the way open and flick out as much as possible while using the comb to feed the hair into the clipper. This is going to help us build our silhouette. Here I'm detailing as much as possible with my 1.5 guard. I'm also using the corners as much as possible. Now we're moving on to our thinning shears, and we're going to grab the hair with our comb and cut it with our thinning shears, just a tip, so we're also making sure we don't go too deep and cut too much bulk off. I did see a faint line between the 1.5 guard and the 2 guard, so I switched over to my 2 guard and used the lever to soften it up. We're going to knock the beard to a 3 guard all the way open, and we're going to make sure everything's nice and even and run everything over multiple times. Now we're going to move on to the sideburns. When I'm fading the beard, I always start off with my no guard all the way open, and then I slightly close the lever all the way closed. Then I move on to my 1 guard all the way open and use it as my second guideline, and then I slightly close the lever all the way closed again. Sometimes I use the 1.5 guard, sometimes I don't. Now we're moving on to the 2 guard all the way open, and we're also using this to debulk. Now we're switching over to our Gold FX. We're going to light up the back of the beard. We're also being careful we don't press too hard near the neck area, because you could bite them with the teeth of the trimmer. The C-cup areas are some of the most important parts of the haircut. So when I'm using my trimmers, I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch. And I'm always making sure I go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair's going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. Here we're cleaning up the bottom of the mustache. Then we're going to move on to the lower beard and make sure it's as crispy as possible. When lining up the beard, you want to do it like the C-cups. You want to go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. Then it won't look as crispy as possible. Again, when you're lining up the C-cups, I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch. I'm also making sure I use the corners of the blade and I'm not pressing too hard, because you could leave them a little rash or you could cut them with the teeth of the trimmer. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done detailing the back, we can move on to our shear work and make sure everything's nice and even on top. When I get to the sides of the capitus, I'm cutting at an angle and I'm making sure it blends in with the top and sides. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a high fade on my guys, so stay tuned. We started off by saturating the hair and combing everything in place, making sure that everything's nice and laid down. Then we switched over to our Go-To effects and created our first guideline. You also want to make sure you always contour this guideline to the head shape so that the fade can flow better. Now that we're done bottoming them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You want to make this guideline around 1 inch thick so you can spread the blend. Now that that guideline is set in, we can slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Don't be afraid to stretch the skin with your opposite hand to give you more room to blend, as you can see what I'm doing here. Since we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're then going to use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper. Using this same guard, we're going to use the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want us to support the channel, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard, we can move on to the half guard and erase the line completely. As you guys can see, we're using the half guard and its lever to erase the line completely, after we were done softening it up with the one guard. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. We're also going to use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper and flick out as much as possible. Once we're done setting in this line, we're then going to use the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done softening up the line, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your one guard all the way open and using its corners would definitely help. As you guys can see here, there's still a faint line, so I switched over to my one guard all the way open and used its corners. Now we're going to debulk the top with the 5 guard all the way open, and also we're going to go as slow as possible, making sure that the hair feeds into the teeth of the clipper. Now that we're done debulking the top, we can move on to our clipper over comb method and begin to blend into the parietal ridge. Using your horizontal cuts to debulk is very critical, and using your vertical cuts to blend is very critical. I'm also going back to my previous guards, like the 3 guard all the way open and the 2 guard all the way open, just so I could debulk and remove any weight lines I see. Now I'm detailing with my 1 guard all the way open and my no guard all the way open. our one guard all the way closed, we're going to debulk the beard to make sure everything's nice and even. You always want to try and keep those corners and vertical bars as natural as possible. I don't like when people go too in and make them at a cute angle. After being very gentle on the mustache, we're moving on to the bottom of the beard, or we're going to make it as crispy as possible. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done with the fade, we can move on to the Turkish razor and Derby premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. But before we do that, we're going to apply some shave gel so that our blade can glide better. When you're using your razor, you always want to make sure you keep it at a 45-degree angle and stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone.